Hi, my name is Kelly Bilo, and I've been in Girl Scouts for 13 years, which is quite a long time considering I'm only 18 years old. I got in Girl Scouts originally because my mother was in Girl Scouts, and actually my grandmother, Diana Ireland, who is so graciously in the crowd today to come support me, was in Girl Scouts. So I was a third-generation Girl Scout, and it's kind of been something that the women in my family have just done, and we even still in my house have my mother's old felt little vest from when she was a junior in Girl Scouts with all her old badges on it. And it was something that was really great, and my mom wanted me to get involved in it, so she put me in it. And once there, I found out I really loved it. I loved Girl Scouts, and I loved all the things I got from it. For one, I gained a really great sense of leadership, which has been quite useful for me as a senior now, especially in high school, when I have all these kids who look up to me, not only in my sports, but in my volunteering and in school. And now I am that big old senior who they look up to and go to for advice when they don't know what to do. And it's a weird feeling, but it's a great thing to be that leadership and be that person for them. And 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been comfortable in that position, and I don't think I'd be comfortable in that position now if it wasn't for Girl Scouts. But even more than the skills I've gained, I've also gained a lot of wonderful memories from Girl Scouts. I can still remember that trip Molly talks about going camping, and I can remember how in the campsite next to us there were a troop of Boy Scouts just about the same age as us, and how Molly and Jenny greatly discouraged the mixing of us. But of course, being teenage girls, we could not be stopped. And we ended up playing this big game of tag in this great big wheat field that was right next to the campsite that came up to our chest. And I can remember these big thunderclouds rolling in the distance and playing until the clouds were right on top of us and it started raining. And I remember running back to our campsite and going in with my tent mate and starting a pretty fierce game of Uno where we had been betting the snacks we brought with us. And it was just such a fun time, and it's one of those memories that will stay with me forever, and I don't think I'll ever forget. And it's a really wonderful thing to have those memories with those people and to be able to do those sort of things and events. And it's, like I said, it's one of those memories that'll stay with me forever, and I'll never forget because it was just a good time. And one other thing Girl Scouts has given me that I have to be sincerely and wonderfully grateful for the rest of my life is my best friend. I met my best friend through Girl Scouts, and she's actually in the crowd here today, Morgan Harding over there. And we originally went to elementary school together for a couple years, but she moved away. And about 5 years ago now, we had coincidentally met at a midnight book opening, and we had seen each other and talked and chatted and had this wonderful time. And we left that night not knowing that about a year later we would meet again right across from each other at a table at Girl Scouts of all places. And I can still remember Morgan coming in and seeing me instantly, recognizing and saying, "Oh my gosh, Kelly Bilo, I can't believe it's you." And I remember being kind of taken back because I must admit I didn't recognize who she was at first. And I felt terrible for it, but she forgave me and she reminded me who she was, and we started talking. And pretty soon, we became thick as thieves, and we are now inseparable, and we are best friends. And I can fairly and honestly say we would not be best friends today. She would not be my friend if it wasn't for Girl Scouts. And I can't imagine my life without her in it. And I know I'm not the only one. I know there are countless other Girl Scouts who have met their best friends, who have made lifelong friends like Molly and Jenny through Girl Scouts. And that's something you really can't put a tag on, you can't put a price on, and you can't limit. And so I'm really glad for that experience, and I'm glad to have my best friend with me. And it's a life-changing thing, and that tends to sum up Girl Scouts for me. It's been life-changing. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't in my life and if it wasn't something I was involved in. And I'm glad I've had that support system. I'm glad I've had Molly and Jenny there for me throughout all those 13 years, because I know I've gone through a lot in that time, and they've had to put up with a lot from us as girls. And it's something every girl deserves, is to have that support system there and have those people who care for you and who are there for you through thick and thin, and to get those skills, to have those great memories. And I cannot express in words just how grateful I am to Molly and Jenny and to Girl Scouts, and how grateful I am for you guys to be here and supporting it today. So thank you very much, and keep up the good work, Girl Scouts.